Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another Chelsea breakdown. Straight after that Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1 draw, I was just coming back from studio, just about managed to get the review up, and just bumped into all the Arsenal fans on the train at Earl's Court. Not enjoyable whatsoever. They're singing Super Mecca. Arteta knows exactly what we need. I don't know if that's the case. I'll be real. I don't really know if that's the case. But this is going to be a great breakdown. This is probably, I think, going to be our best breakdown because this is such a fun situation we found ourselves in right now. Now, we all wanted to beat Arsenal, and I am gutted because I hate Arsenal. So I know Don was smelling a lot in the group chat. He's sniffing away. I know Javon is probably still not over the draw last week because he just wanted to beat Man United so much. That's the club he hates the most. But we almost did it, but we didn't. You know what I mean? It's another one of those ones. They were flirting with us today, Chelsea. But there is a lot to get into because the table right now has us in third, which is good, really good. But it also has us 3 points ahead of Brentford in 11th. So it's a lot. It's very congested right now. This is proper central London, hella congested. But before we get into that, Tobes, how you doing, brother? Welcome. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'm good and bad. Yeah, mixed emotions with that one. But we got the right crew here because, well, Super Mick. I don't think he watched the game. He said Arsenal dominated. We actually watched the game. So
he said that.
He said they dominated the game. So yeah, I don't know what game he had on, but either way, yeah, I'm kind of mixed emotions with it. There were some positives takes from that game. There were some negatives, mainly one in goal, obviously, as per. But like you said, table looks good. Point wise, not great, but things are progressing, and we got more than just one superstar in this team, and that's becoming more and more apparent, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because it's maybe not the one that everybody expected it to be. But bro, Neto right now, Alexis has been our best winger, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Best attacker recently.
Absolutely beautiful. And what I love about it is there's no moaning. I'm a big name signing. I need to play every game. I'm playing out of position. He's saying the right things in the interviews beforehand. It's a team game. We're easing me in. I'm ready to play wherever. And when he goes to that right wing, he does the business. Like, genuinely, we're starting to get a sample size of what he can do to the point where Nonny walking down the tunnel, we're going to have to talk about today. After being subbed and storming off, hey, Javon, I need you to become Harvey Specter really quickly because you're going to have to defend your boy.
I'm not defending shit, but we'll get to that.
But no, 3 point.
I didn't even.
Excellent.
I actually didn't even see that. I'll be honest. So
that's
why I had a little.
Wait, hold on. He went straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, he did.
He got subbed. He started moaning. A journalist tweeted it. He's like, "Oh, Nonny's moaning that he's got subbed. He's not happy." Went straight down the tunnel.
So Javon, welcome, brother. Sounds like you got a lot on your hands today. With that news, brother, I didn't know. So when he said that, I'm like, wait, what? And I'm just trying to
put it in the group chat.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna look for some information on that. See if there's any quotes from.
Why me, bro?
I don't know how big of a deal that. What do you mean? Why me, brother? What do you mean, brother? What do you mean?
Why me?
Listen. With me, we all know our favorites are the badge, right? In terms of Chelsea, our favorites are winning football matches. None of us are so biased or so roped on one individual that we're gonna like do or die. However, we all do have players that we rate and that we say to people, yo, I told you about this man. So Madueke is your guy. So you're gonna have to say some things. But how you feeling?
I'm chilling, bro. If I'm being honest, the discussion we're going to have today, two types of discussion. First, we're going to review the game. So what I say, because I'm going to speak for me, what I say, it's to this game and this block that we've played before the international break. And on a broader note, I'm gonna say some things on the overall spectrum of the thing. But I'm honestly happy. Think we could have won the game, but I'm not. We played better than last week, so I'm happy if I'm being honest.
Yeah. And Don, brother, how are you feeling? Because in the chat you were sniffing a lot. And if people don't know what I mean by that, but basically, Don, obviously you saw the first episode of this, right? Don was converting a lot of brothers over the other side, and rightly so, because there is one thing Don has been spot on about is there is blood to be smelt, because we saw today, they're not stratosphere above us. I know they had a couple of players that were running on knocks or whatever in the match, but in Odegaard and Rice, but that was a very even game. That was a very fair result. You know, Man City are having issues as well. I know so I get why you're smelling, but at the same time, I got a blocked nose at times too. You know what I mean? So what are you saying, buddy? You good?
Well, listen, I told you in that first episode, just stay within the pack by January so we can boost the squad, because it's been very clear what we need from these big games that we've had. You know, today I don't feel like what I did last week, like Javon said, the performance was better. You know, but end of the day, we're going to get into it, boys. I think it was a fair result. As much as I wanted to beat Arsenal, I can't get mad at it. I think today was a game of chess. I'll be real.
Yeah. No, it was, bro. Like, I know we had more shots, and it's for me, it's the quality of the shots, it's the quality of the chances, and we've only created one big chance in this game, and we've only created 3 big chances in our last 3 games: Newcastle, Man United, and Arsenal. That's just what the stats say. Take it up with the apps. But that chance that Gusto had was that big chance, I'm assuming. And my goodness, I know if Reece James was on the end of that with the strength, especially when it's Martinelli marking him, with the strength that he has. Aerially, he's been very good since he got back, playing at left back and whatnot, winning his duels. We would have been 1-0 up, and we wouldn't have to come from behind. So, but you're right, bro. It was a fair result. I mean, they nearly won it at the end. My life flashed before my eyes. If Kai Havertz had put his toe on the end of that at Stamford Bridge, and we know exactly how he's going to celebrate, because he gave us a little bit of a demonstration when he had his goal that was a shoulder offside, which was, again, poor defending, lapse of concentration from us. He's shushing the fans. If he had scored that goal at the end, oh my God, my head would have been, bro.
He would have taken off his top.
I was going to say,
I can't lie.
2 goals ruled out after shushing us, though. Like, what's the next? Saliba was offside, to be fair, with I think it was a cross for it. The bit in the last minute. So, I thought we caught them out a few times. That was hilarious. Him shushing and then walking off with CTE with his head busted open and Cucurella ratting on it, the ref to get him off. Like, there was a few little antics like that I probably took from that game that I was more happy about than like the performance. Like, even when Reece came on, he smashed into Kai. I think Caicedo shoved someone. Yeah. So I was like, this is better. This is it. Like, this is what we want to see. Even if the performance isn't perfect, you're not creating loads. Like you said, Gusto on the end of that chance. It felt a bit like, remember when Alonso wiped out Bellerin? Like, that's what he needed to do. He needed to just completely take him out and score. But
even Caicedo today, you're right. Caicedo was shrugging people off the ball. You know what I mean? Like, I was even seeing him doing this today, bro. I ain't seen that.
Early doors. I like that. Especially because he was captain as well. You kind of thought, okay, because we're kind of looking for a captain that feels like a captain at the moment. As much as we all like Reece, he's kind of captain by default because he's Cobham. But Caicedo, you kind of think he seems like a bit of a shy character, but no. When he did that, I was like, okay, right, that's something that feels
he's
like
growing in front of our eyes, isn't he? Like, he's somebody that didn't speak the language really well when he first came. Now you see him week by week. Performances are good. He's shouting at other players. He's leading by example. It's funny because out of him and Enzo, everyone always said, Enzo will be the leader. But he's really taken that mantle now, and he's really standing out like one of our best 3 players. And it's not even a debate whether he plays or not. It's Caicedo is the first name on the team sheet with Palmer, which is great.
100%.
I think he's the most consistent this season. Like, as much as we love Palmer in these big games, this block that we've kind of had that Javon referred to in the international after the last international break. Palmer, we've been Newcastle great. Other than the other games, hasn't really added a lot. Caicedo's been there every week, like top level.
I think the only poor performance I've seen from Caicedo this season was Wolves away, the first half.
Yeah.
He's off the class.
He was moving like he was waved, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know if they brought some Ecuadorian beer or something.
It was like him and Noni had been on a night out the night before in Wolves. He's calling it shit. And Caicedo just never recovered from it. I don't know what went on.
The second half, he came out and he was brilliant, man. But today, looking at that midfield battle, that was a key area that I was looking at. You know what I mean? I don't really, I was speaking to Dan Potts, big him up, and he was saying that he thinks we won that midfield battle. For me, I think it was pretty touch and go, man. I think we had parts in the game where we were dominating the ball quite a bit, but there was times in the game where, the likes of Partey, Rice, and that Odegaard, they were sort of dominating it as well, and we had to kind of sit back a little bit. I think today both teams looked at each other, realized how good the players are, and were a bit wary of each other. Even Gary Neville in commentary was saying like, just go for it, bro. It seems like the players are scared to lose the ball. You can't have that mentality, and that's where experience comes into it. The more confidence we get in terms of getting over the line against these bigger teams, we're going to have that belief to just go for it, But today, it kind of felt like, let's wait for a moment to just punch them in the face. And I'm like, bro, we're creating dangerous opportunities. Let's just fucking go for it. If we lose like that, I'll be annoyed by the result, but I can't be mad at the fact that we're going for it. Whereas today, it felt like the handbrake was up at times, if that makes sense.
But you know what, Don?
If I'm being honest, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There was a shift in the way we approached the game this year to last year. Last year, there were so many instances where I think Neto got it and Neville was losing his shit. He was like, why is he not taking his man on? Why is he not doing this? He's one-on-one. And that's where you open it up into a basketball game.
Wait,
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Neto got his goal
he was
on the left-hand side and Neville was furious. He was like, this is the third occasion he's not taking his man on.
Oh, today, yeah.
You guys are overlooking something very important. The reason why we see this, and I'm going to tie this into a bigger point. I know you guys may not like it. I know you guys will probably take some time to understand it. But this was a game crying out for Enzo Fernandez in that first phase. Right? Cool. The reason why that happened, that specific point happened to Neto, and I've seen this 3 times, especially in the last couple of games when Lavia starts. They don't get the ball quickly enough to the winger to get into that isolated 1v1. Right? There's a difference between passing the ball to someone and passing the ball in the run that they're making. What's the key difference in that? When you pass the ball into the run that they're making, the first touch is already in their path, so they're already ahead. If you pass it to them, they have to hold up and turn. Now, the reason why I said Enzo Fernandez was needed in this game is because the speed of play, while it was better than the entirety of the United game last week, it still was too slow. When Enzo came on, Enzo became the focal point of who they were trying to find first. And Enzo essentially created that goal. Because if it was Lavia is taking 2-3 touches on the ball. The goal we conceded.
Well, man. I think Lavia's playing that pass as well, though. That was
it was a very you're talking about the assist.
The assist, yeah.
Very simple.
Let me finish. And I'm going to repeat myself. Don't let my point go over your head. It's not the pass that he played. It's the fact that when Enzo was there, he's the focal point to start everything else. I understand. So that pocket, that space that Enzo picks up, he's not dwelling on the ball. He's not touching and looking for a pass. Enzo already knows his next pass. And that also leads to another point. The goal we conceded. And I'm not going to get pissed because on overall totality, we did play well. When you, as Lavia, is supposed to be deemed press resistant, you see 2 people coming over your shoulder. Why, in God's name, are you taking multiple touches on the ball? That's the difference between Enzo and Lavia. And I'm talking the good version of Enzo. Enzo fizzes it out, fizzes it into the attacker, or fizzes it back into the defense. When you take 2-3 touches, we got the ball nicked off it. That's the first that's the first part of that goal. Yes, Colwell kept them on side, and yes, Sanchez should have closed off his near post.
Colwell's getting a lot of blame for that goal that he doesn't deserve, by the way, in my opinion.
Yeah,
there was multiple errors in that. Not just Colwell. There was multiple errors in that, man.
But I hate,
I listed all 3 errors. I'm just saying that first one could have been avoided by not dwelling on the ball. That's all I'm saying.
I was getting pissed off at that as well. Listen, Javon, you made some good points. Like today, in hindsight, you could potentially say that Enzo should have started the game. But at the same time, I can't lie, bro. We needed a little bit of physicality in there in terms of breaking up play. And that's what we were doing. That's what Caicedo and Lavia were doing. I think it was perfect the way he brought Enzo on because he had enough time to come into the game and actually do something, unlike in Cuckoo. We'll speak about that later on, people, in terms of the minutes that he got. Enzo got enough time to contribute and is up against tired legs. And at that point, they changed their midfield as well, bro. They had Marino came on, you know what I'm saying? Declan Rice came off, Odegaard came off as well. So he wasn't playing against their strongest 11, yeah? I know last year Enzo played, cool. We did win that midfield battle last year. Remember, though, Declan Rice now kicking the ball off the pitch. But I was happy with the lineup that we went with, right? It's just the certain areas that we're getting into. Again, Gusto in that right half space. We mainly build from our right. That's where we're comfortable, right? Yeah. I'm seeing Colwell punching the ball in the first 5-10 minutes, straight through Arsenal's midfield, into Gusto. He's slipping. He's kicking it off the pitch. Palmer picks up the ball there. You're not talking about Enzo Fernandez the way you are right now, bro, because the build-up is coming from Colwell, and we're not going to break down that many attacks, right? Right now, against a team like Arsenal, you're not going to get in many dangerous areas a lot, bro. So the quality has to be spot on. right? The quality has to be spot on because against the lesser sides, you're gonna keep breaking the lines. Against teams like Arsenal, bro, you're not gonna get that many. You're not gonna get that many.
I do think
There's a knock-on effect of not. And people, let me get this. I'm talking about this game. I'm not screaming out for Fernandes to start every single game. I'm just saying some of these things are touch and go. There's a knock-on effect. How much times did you see Palmer have to drop deep? You don't get the same level of Palmer when Palmer should.
Palmer weren't good today.
That's on Maresca. That's on Maresca.
But I was going to. Sorry, yeah, go on.
Last point, and I'll let everybody else go. All right. My point on Enzo is, you see, when you have a player like that, and you have the form of Caicedo, because Caicedo is a massive part to this. When you have Caicedo like that, you can't allow for Enzo Fernandez to play his game. That's all I'm saying. You know. So for me, during the game, you could have seen where Enzo Fernandez would have made better decision making, potentially prevent that first goal, and we could have scored more.
I said last week on stream. Do we think that we create more with Fernandes on the pitch? Like I with Lavia and Caicedo as a pivot, we're more compact in midfield for sure, absolutely. And Enzo lends itself to basketball. But what's kind of fascinating about our squad in terms of how effective we can be on transition when we're playing basketball is that I don't think many can go toe to toe with us when we play basketball. I don't think Arsenal could have today. No. I think Enzo forces. Even I know it sounds like it's a simple pass. It's ahead of him, so it sets Neto up well, so he can have the shot or whatever. But Enzo's always looking to go forward, whereas there is a bit more of that sideways nature with Lavia and Caicedo, which gives us, a bit more control and it's less erratic. But sometimes you want that erratic. You want a bit more chaos because we can thrive in the chaos. I think
our transitions were poor today. Yeah. Our counters were non-existent.
But even at one point, Enzo got the ball and he overhit it to Jackson, bro. I'm looking at it thinking, normally Enzo would get that.
And by the way, he has been overhitting a lot of passes this season. That has been
but I think
that pass isn't being played when he's not here at all.
I agree with that too.
And I think it gives Palmer more touches on the ball. And look, he had a poor game today, but the more you give him the ball, the more likely he is to do something. And we don't find in these last 4 games where we've had Lavia and Caicedo, they've looked more solid. We've looked less like we're just conceding transitions at will, which we might do under Enzo more so. We have found him less, and we've probably seen a dip a little bit in his performance against Newcastle. Okay, was probably the best game. Look how deep he was receiving the ball. Even I know one of the goals he causes from that, but you want him closer to the box, and you want him receiving the ball closer to the box, and Enzo does cause that. So it's it's a nice problem to have. But he needs to work out.
That's the issue that I've got right now. Go on, Alexis. Go on.
I also think Lavia, whilst he gives us the physicality, teams are more willing to let Caicedo and Lavia have the ball with more space. With Enzo, there's almost a fear because of the reputation that he has. I'm going to press him. Hence why Palmer gets the little bit extra, 1 or 2 seconds to open it up. But today, the first 10 minutes, Palmer was getting into the pockets. I think Arteta changed the game. Arteta made it some sort of switch where Palmer had to go wider and wider, almost become a touchline winger on the left to get a touch of the ball because they absolutely surrounded him. And the other 2 in midfield just couldn't do anything to create it. It's frustrating in that sense. I also think it doesn't help when the way Noni played today on the right wing. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was threatening enough at all, but it is Timber and he's a great one-on-one defender. So we can't praise Cucurella for being great on Saka, but then at the same time,
Timber wasn't really dispossessing Noni. Noni was just kind of going backwards and not really he would go towards him and then just go back. And I'm even Neto was doing the same thing as well, right? I checked Neto's dribble attempts, 0, bro. You know what I mean? He was getting some good crosses in. Neto was getting some good crosses in. Madueke put in a good cross for Fofana as well when he hit it over the bar. Other than that, they weren't that direct today. Neto had more quality, yes, cool, on the ball. But in terms of actually running at both of them, Ben White and Timber, I felt we should have done more. I felt we should have done more on that side.
Both teams are pretty safe today.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. I think
that feels like a handbrake. Then.
Yeah.
It was we can't lose this game for both teams.
Do you know what was actually instruction? Oh, sorry, go on.
No. I just felt like Arsenal knew they couldn't lose this game. They wanted to win at the end. You could tell with the free kicks, they sent people forward. They weren't waiting for the point. But at the end, I feel like both managers were happy with the 1 point.
I don't think Arsenal were. I don't think Arteta was, bro. If you saw his face, that guy was looking stressed. That guy was looking stressed.
Honestly,
Bro, he
9
always
points
looks
behind,
stressed.
you know.
honestly, on the Madueke point, I'm gonna be the first one to call a spade a spade. He just wasn't good enough today, bro. And you know why I say he wasn't good enough? He actually got by his man, but the one or two crosses in the second half were good. I give him that. And the one play where he got defensive, but I don't watch the game and look at this attacking player to see his defensive work. Your job in this team is to create space and create an opportunity to score, whether you're scoring yourself or you're passing the ball into the max for someone to score. None of that. None of that. We saw none of that today. And then for you to be substituted, right? And then head straight down the table, it's unacceptable. Call a spade, bro. He just wasn't good enough today. And if you really look at it, he wasn't good enough last week against United. And the week before, like at some point, I get Maresca has his favorites. And I guess you could say today he started by default because he doesn't trust Sancho. He doesn't trust Mudryk to start on the left yet. And Sancho is ill. So you cannot say, okay, none started by default today.
Yeah.
Cool. But going forward, bro, drop this man because he's either going to do two things. It's going to up his performances to get back in the starting level.
Exactly.
Or piss off and you sell him. But you can't.
Mudryk left wing. Mudryk left wing. I want to see that. Mudryk left wing, Neto right wing, bro. I want to see that.
Yeah,
Mudryk came on today, and you can just see that he's looking more tidy now. Yeah, you can see that even tracking back. People think Mudryk shit defensively. Like, oh, Maresca doesn't trust him going back. Bro, Mudryk can defend. Today, again, he showed me he can defend. There was a bit where he hooked the ball back and was on another break again, right? He defends similar to Madueke, right? And for me, the performances I've been seeing in the Conference League, yeah, cool, different opposition. Mudryk came on against Palace. He played better than Neto in the little time he got. Created a very good opportunity for Jackson over the top. You know, Mudryk came on against Forest. Created a very good chance for Nkuku that Nkuku missed. Yeah, he's actually been doing stuff that actually, you know, when Maresca's looking at him now and saying, "Yo, do you know what? Against West Ham, you didn't come on, but now I can look at you and I can trust you to come on."
Yeah,
right. So I need him to start to get more minutes now, starting from the beginning because he's getting warm. Mudryk can create. Now he just needs to find his finishing boots, bro. Mudryk is a better creator than Noni. Yeah, Mudryk has a very nice cross, and his cutbacks are nice as well. Yeah, he needs to start because Neto needs to go back on the right, and maybe like you're saying, Javon, that will bring something out of Madueke because right now it kind of feels like he's in there by default. And I've been saying, bro, I like him. He's a squad player for me. He is not a guaranteed starter in this team.
Correct.
He has to come out of this 11 right now.
By the way, Maresca bottled
bro.
it. Like, I'm going to praise him for not starting James because he clearly believed Cuckoo on the left back position's fine. He wanted Gusto. Okay, I get it. It's a big decision. He bottled it. Palmer should have been off around the 60th minute.
That's another
that's
thing.
What I want to
should have been
That's
off.
what we need to get into because
for me, Felix is he's the look. If you have an A team and you have a B team and you want to tell us about there's a pathway, your performances for the B team will show you that there's a pathway to the A team. Felix has been playing well for the B team. I don't care what anyone like. You can't convince me otherwise. Like, he's putting up numbers, he's putting up performances, creativity. Yes, he's selfish and shoots, but that's exactly what Palmer does. Nkunku's been getting numbers as well. You're giving 4 minutes to Nkunku
in the striker position, bro.
In the striker
position, where you're telling me, he plays in the pockets, he deserves it. When Palmer, in my opinion, he didn't look fit. He genuinely looked hobbled.
So two things, right? Because I don't even want to let that Madueke kind of conversation die down because that was also another point. But let's just group it all as the attackers. Felix and Nkuku, he clearly does not trust them off the ball in comparison to Jackson and Palmer. That is a consistent theme in them not playing for me. Because technically, if Felix and Nkuku are a problem technically, then that is a whole bigger conversation. Like, that can't be an issue. I won't even entertain it because it can't be a thing. They are here because our directors or our recruitment think that technically they can play in those pockets, can link up, can create, can score. So that I'm not even addressing that. But defensively, in a game of this magnitude, and we saw it against Manchester United where they didn't even come on, and he gave Nkuku many minutes, which means, again, I don't think he trusts them off the ball. He's been saying that off the ball, they need to improve. Madueke for that goal for Martinelli, maybe he needs to get himself back. He did get back a few times. He wasn't back for that time. But most of the time, Madueke's tracking back is, diligent. He's doing his job. Going forward, he's not providing enough. But this manager is saying time and time again, defensive balance in the press conferences. If you want Enzo in midfield, that doesn't mean you're going to get any more of Felix. I can tell you that. You're not going to get any more of Nkuku, because we know defensive balance in that midfield. He does not trust that Enzo Caicedo pivot right now, which is why he's gone to Lavia. So there's a lot of players in this team that are providing one thing or two things one way, but not enough the other way. And it's creating all these mini imbalances, which means we can't see certain selections, certain lineups together, because it won't work for the manager on paper. But the one thing I will say is that Poch said the same shit last season. And this is where we need to be fair. Pochettino was screaming about the defensive balance last season, and nobody wanted to hear it. They're all saying, "Oh, it's the way the system is, the way we're set up." The manager to this day, this manager in the dugout is still saying the same thing about the balance of the team, And it's not just about ages, or it's about building a balanced side. So I don't know if he's going to be able to extract better press or better defensive positioning from Felix and Nkuku for him to trust them to be in this team, because I don't know if they're those type of players. And Nkuku, he's just not going to have the same level of intensity that Jackson's going to have, because he's got a history of injuries and whatnot. So I don't know how he's going to fix that. But when he says that, you got to listen, because that's the reasoning.
Let's be real, people. Are they that bad off the ball, like to the point where they can't come on?
Hold on. Before we even get to that, right? Before we even get to that, a question that stands out to me is, what games have you given them of importance where you can say, you know what, they just don't do it off the ball? Then these players at this level are not going to take the Conference League opposition seriously. Come on, bro. If we're winning games 8-0, 6-0, I'm not going to track back if I'm up 8-0 in the last.
But you have to. This is the funny thing. If you don't do it, you will never bridge the gap between Conference League and Premier League. You won't play.
But Matisse, Felix is working off the ball. This is the thing that
he
does.
He actually does.
He does work off the ball. It's just people have got it stuck in their head.
He's not as good at.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not the same
He's
level.
not as good as Palmer. And,
oh no, he's not.
And this is why I do feel sorry for them sometimes, because it's very difficult to prove in the Conference League that you can do it at, Felix presses off the ball in the Conference League against shit quality players. How am I meant to now flip that and compare that to press resistant, better, higher quality Premier League players and say you're going to press the same way with the same quality? And this is why that Newcastle away game was so important, because that was the only time we could actually definitively take something from a B team performance and apply it to the Premier League. And unfortunately, they failed. And that's why that competition was so important for me to not go out, because every single Conference League game we play up until the semi-final is null and void. It is literally, you can't take that Noah performance. I didn't take anything from it. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. We're playing plumbers in that competition. The Newcastle game, that was their chance.
I give you that point. Cool. I want to take that point. Fine. But it still doesn't justify you not pulling off Palmer when he's had poor games this entire
How
run.
do you take off Palmer? Like, how do you take off?
I
know, but let's
put the board up.
Then.
Okay.
No,
No.
I'll let you land. But
let me land. Yeah. All right. We've been waiting. The defense point for taking out Palmer is, he's that special player. He can do something. 3 games on the run, bro, and he's done nothing.
Yeah,
it's different if we're bringing on scrubs. You're telling me and I'm not asking you to pull him at halftime. I'm talking 75th, 80 minutes, 70th minute. Give him 20 minutes. You're telling me you can't find 20 minutes for Nkunku and Felix somewhere?
That's my point.
Game?
That's my point.
Bro,
we talk about our depth all the time. We talk about the fact that we've got quality over quantity right now, brother. You can give these guys 25 minutes, 20 minutes in the second half. Again, like I keep saying, they're not playing fresh legs, bro. Yeah? This is the Prem. You're playing against guys that are now tired a little bit. They're getting a bit...
Milan midweek. Yeah,
they're playing into Milan midweek. Like, the game's going, bro. Yeah? Nkuku and João Felix. Like, João Felix, when he comes on, I promise you, bro, you're going to see an injection of life, right?
Yeah.
You're going to see an injection of life straight away, right? Because he's going to get on the ball and he's going to progress it, like what you're asking for Enzo to do. But he's going to progress it whilst running with it. He's going to draw fouls. Yeah? You can now whip it into the box. You know what I'm saying? He's going to create for some people. He's going to shoot outside the box. That's one thing Felix does. He shoots from outside the box. His end product ain't the best, but he actually likes to shoot from outside the box as well.
And we don't even know if his end product's not the best, because his numbers, when you look for minutes per goal at Barcelona in La Liga and Champions League last year, he was putting up numbers on par with Rodrigo, Leao, all the players that everyone rates and tells me, Chelsea need to go and get. His minutes per goal in La Liga and Champions League, I forget the Copa del Rey, was on par. He doesn't get the minutes on the left wing. Like, for me, this is what I find weird. You want to play Palmer and you want to play two enforcers in the middle in Caicedo and Lavia. On that left-hand side, give Felix an opportunity. You can't just rub it out after one performance. Who was it that we drew? Palace.
Palace.
It's like there was half an hour and it's like, okay, yeah, he can't play left wing. Surely we can't judge.
I don't want to see him coming on the left. I want to see him down the middle. I want to see him down the middle.
Bro,
I want to see him centrally, bro.
It doesn't matter, because here's what, left or middle, he doesn't get game time.
That's my
3 Premier League games, 0 minutes, bro.
What you're bringing up, though, is exactly why he doesn't come on, right? When we say, like, okay, yeah, he's going to do nutmegs, he's going to do this. Enzo Maresca in his head is having a heart attack at the idea of him going for a nutmeg on the halfway line and Arsenal counter.
Palmer did that in the first half when he should have simply played the ball.
He did, but he has to trust in Palmer, because Palmer's done it time and time and time again so far. Okay, yeah, in these other games, in these big games, maybe he hasn't delivered, but he knows he can produce those moments. With João Felix, he obviously has a worry with that. And that quote he said last week against United, that stuck with me. The last 5 minutes of today's game, the whole, in Italy, we have a saying, better not to lose the game, better to not lose the game. That was in his head. That was completely in his head. And he's sitting there saying, yeah, I agree. João Felix can produce a moment of magic, but that you trust Palmer to do that more because you've seen it more naturally. Like,
let me tell you something, Tobes. Let me tell you something then, Tobes. Yeah, okay, cool. So fair enough. Today was a big game. You know, you don't want to be losing against the big six, because at the end of the day, we've got another opportunity to play these guys and beat them, right? We've only played these guys once, yeah? So when it comes to lesser oppositions now, because we've got Everton coming up, we've got Leicester coming up, we've got all these smaller teams where we should be winning and we should be on the front foot, I need you to start using Felix and these lot more, right? Agreed. Against the bigger sides, most of the time, bro, against the bigger teams, especially in games like today where it's tight, you don't really see the managers using 5 subs. It rarely happens, unless there's like a lot of like injuries or whatever. You rarely ever see it. You might see 2-3 subs. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the game's so tight. But again, against the lesser opposition, Leicester, if Felix can't get any minutes against Leicester, bro, or Nkuku can't see more than 20, 30 minutes in that game, that's what you got to be looking at and saying, bro, what's going on? Like, you have to now use the squad. You have to use the squad, bro.
So Dan, let me ask you a question. What's the end point of that? And think about my question. What is the end point of giving them minutes in those games?
Bro, isn't it to affect the game, depending on how the game's going?
Yeah,
right? I can't give you a blanket answer, because it all depends on how the game's going.
Yes, I know, but the end point of giving them minutes in those games is to see if you can trust them for the bigger games. Right. When we have a stretch of run where we had smaller games, they got minutes, they came in and did impact here and there, and then we come into this run and they didn't do anything.
Yeah, but let's break it down though. Let's break it down. Nkuku started left wing against Man City. Nkuku came on at right wing against Palace. Felix came on at left wing against Palace. Nkuku's been getting here you go minutes, right? Just dashing him on up front, where Maresca's literally said he's not a striker, right? So you can talk about, yeah, they've had opportunities, but you actually break down the level of opportunities they've had and where they've been played when they've come on as well. Cool, you can say, oh, you know, they should be doing more. But for me, Felix is not a left winger, bro. Like, he's best down the middle. That's the only place he's been played in the Prem.
But that's my point. It's not what they do. It's a level of minutes they're given, is what I'm saying. The end goal for giving these players minutes is so you know, find out if you can trust them when the bigger games come.
Javon, but the only thing is, right, I understand them not getting minutes if everyone ahead of them is performing. I think it's safe to say Noni hasn't been, you said it yourself, Noni hasn't played well in 3-4 games. Mm-hmm. Jackson's playing well. I can't argue. Like, Jackson's performances for a target man striker have been good. He's putting up good numbers. Palmer's, like Tobes said, he's Palmer. But you're going to have to integrate these players. Otherwise, why do we have 7 options for 4 positions?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
but this goes back to the fact of when Nkuku was obviously signed prior to Maresca, right? And Felix was signed obviously in the summer. But why was Felix signed?
Yeah.
Was he signed because Chelsea wanted him, at the start of the summer, or was he signed because they wanted to get rid of Gallagher and needed to make a deal happen? And that's the. And this is coming from someone that's liked Felix in the past. I'm past just liking Felix like as a player or hoping he makes it as a player to what I thought he was at Benfica. I'm just interested in results. And at the end of the day, he's not looking like a player that Maresca rates and values highly to the point where we've had to put Chukwuemeka out of squads when I know Chukwuemeka's talented. I know Chukwuemeka is an 8 and Felix isn't, and could bridge the gap between defense and midfield and attack a bit better. And he even himself has said he's a talent and he just wanted to loan him for game time. But more importantly, we've just purchased someone for a lot of money for very little reason. Because if they're not going to play these games, I didn't need to purchase Felix for 45 million.
Yeah, but the thing is
against Noah's Ark and Shamrock Rovers.
Is it just to avoid injury? Like it's literally.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to touch upon, Tobes. I was going to touch upon that because last year we had a massive problem with a lot of injuries. You know, we had to keep playing Gallagher as a 10. You know, you're playing Enzo as a 10. Like, they obviously have PTSD because one of the main briefs they said is Chelsea could play up to 70 games this season. Because don't forget, we've got a Club World Cup as well, right? End of the season. Yeah, so we can play a lot of games. Obviously, we're out of Carabao now, which is annoying. But ultimately, it's a bit of cover just in case. Because, for example, like if we're missing Palmer for what? I don't know, 3-4 weeks. Cool, there's a drop-off. But if you've got Felix there, you've got Nkuku that can play there, you're not panicking as much. Do you know what I'm trying to say? At least you've
only
got
if he trusts them. If he doesn't trust them,
no, I'm saying as fans. I'm saying as fans, innit? I'm saying as
Yeah.
fans. Obviously, we don't see the day-to-day of the training and whatnot, yeah, but they're quality players. Like they are players that can start for many teams in this league, right? That are literally in the top 4 or top 5 or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So, bro, I need to be seeing these man utilized more after the break. Yeah, I need to see it more, bro, because it's not good.
But let me quickly go through
It's
super
so
chats and then
frustrating.
we'll come back to it. Felix here on super chat says, don't want to hear a draw is good. Use context. We need to beat big teams to progress. Centre backs plus keeper are shocking. 3 wins in 22 at home versus Big Six. I don't want to say 3 wins in 22 at home versus Big Six because Maresca's not been here for those 22.
Yeah.
However, I do want a statement win from Maresca against Big Six teams, and that is why I'm frustrated about not winning today because it was there for us. If we was coming up against the Arsenal of last season or the season before where they were at their peak. And we knew in previous fixtures versus Arsenal, we actually, apart from the home game last season where Sanchez binned it, but in most of the fixtures recently, we just have actually not been on their level. Like they physically just overpowered us and just they've just treated us like kids. This game, it was so nip and tuck. Even if the performance is exactly the same, but we could have just got that goal just to win the game. It's not even about the performance today. The performance, is good from some and concerning from others, and that's just normal. That's going to happen all season. We're not going to have a period of time where all 11 were like absolutely impressed and thinking everything's fantastic. We're going to have this, but just for him, I wanted that win today. More for him, even the team, but more for him. I just think it would have been great for him to get it. I remember last season, again, I take it back, and this was nowhere near good enough for him regardless, but when Poch got that Man United win, remember the 4-3? That last minute? The euphoria in the stadium, it was just like, we just needed like something like that today, and I feel like we've missed out on that. That's my frustration. Is we could have got it, and we didn't get it, and we needed to have that.
That's
moment.
the thing, though. That's the thing, though, Matisse. Because end of the day, like Maresca, as much as I like him, he hasn't been managing that long. He's still trying to obviously learn the league, learn playing against the bigger oppositions, and that. For first attempts against these bigger sides, it hasn't been like abysmal. I think the biggest howler for me was against United. That was the biggest howler. Like it's very clear to see where he went wrong and where the players went wrong. So that's where he needs to rectify it the next time we play these teams, because we've got City away next time, Arsenal away next time. You've got United at home next time. We better see improvements. Next time we're on here on a Sunday when we're talking after them games, we better be like, yo, remember last time the in-game management was shit? This time he brought on Nkuku earlier. Remember last time Palmer was shit? This time he brought on Felix earlier. Remember last time the mentality at the back was bad? Sanchez was bad. This time he was better. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the improvement I want to be talking about. But if we're still going on like, because he's not going to get sacked, is he? You know what I mean? If next season is still the same problems, we still can't get over the line, that's when you can start to question him a lot more. Right now, I've got a question mark. I can criticize him, but I don't look at it and think it's not going to get better against the big sides. If anything, I think it's going to improve next time we play them.
Yeah,
I think even today wasn't improved. Like we said, the big games, we want that win. We want that big scalp because we haven't had it in a long time. But like today was the best of those. I think performance-wise, I think out of
Yeah.
all the City,
Yeah, I would say
Liverpool,
that too.
United,
I
any
would
of
say
them,
that too.
today was probably the best. And more, I think, positive than that, it feels like the gap's closer. Like Matisse touched on, the last few years playing Arsenal has been, it's been awful. We used to bully them for fun for years, but like it's swung the other way in recent years. Like we've had some, I know we threw away a win last season against them, but other than that, like they've come here and won quite comfortably in most games, and we haven't even looked competitive. And I don't feel that now. I look at, they had their first 11 today. They rushed back Odegaard and Rice because they were panicking. They knew they needed to get those guys on the pitch. And we went toe to toe, and we kind of looking at, maybe we could have got a bit more. Gusto had a chance, Fofana, but we didn't look out of place. We didn't fluke it. Like we were very competitive. And even in those games that we lost, that we weren't happy with performance-wise, they are better. They're like progressing, and the gap feels a lot smaller.
If I'm being honest, and if we take a step back and look at the totality of the season so far, now first 11 games we played majority of the big six, or we played City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. And I'm going to say this: apart from the United game, still pissed off about. We haven't looked out of place. We haven't. There hasn't been a gap in performance where we say, you know what, they got it, bro. No, against Liverpool, the overall. What I'm trying to say, it's these final margins in game that we're frustrated about. Certain things that could have been done differently, but we still kind. If that's the case, isn't it fair to give Maresca a pass? It is his first season with us, right?
Are we getting greedy? Are we getting greedy, people?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't talk about greedy on this show. Don't. No. Everybody go shush now. Don't talk about greedy on this show. You two at the bottom, when we first started this show, when this show was birthed, was going, I like the way they look.
What did I tell you, though? No, what was my little thing, though? Nah, Matisse, don't do that. Don't do that. That's very shameless.
And that's the second part of my statement comes in.
My caveat,
we have a savable. Hold on now. I'm gonna let you
my caveat, Javon. But let me respond to it because it was me that brought it up. My caveat to that was I need to be in touching distance of the team that are first in January so we can boost the squad. Because it's very clear to see what we need in the squad, bro.
Would you say we're in touching distance right now?
No.
I mean, not now. I mean,
9 points.
I mean, we're in touching distance of City, but obviously we're 9 points behind Liverpool, you know? So.
Hey, but you know what? Don't let me do what you do. 11 games. If we win 8 of them.
Well, let's go through Chelsea's fixtures. Leicester away.
Go for it.
I have to make this point.
Go on.
Our next run of games, we should be picking up 3 points from each game. I think one of the most difficult games is Villa, and I'm not afraid of Villa. That's what I'm saying. So what happens now if after the international break we go on a run? What we're talking about then?
We should go on a run if we want top 4. Genuinely, we have to. Like that. There's like, so I've got the fixtures. I think we've got the Leicester next game away, which is a must win. Then we've got Villa at home, Southampton away. Like, if we just focus on the next 3, that's got to be at a minimum 7 points.
No, it's 9. I think that has to be 9. It has to be 9.
Bro, Villa have lost their last 4 games. They're on good form right now.
I know we've had tough games, but we've won 1 in the last 5. Let's also take note of that. It's time to put a run of wins together, like we did before with Wolves, Bournemouth, West Ham. Like, put another one of them, and then suddenly this big game period goes, okay, we didn't take what we could have maybe taken from it, but we didn't have a bad run, and like we've plastered over that by beating the teams that we should be beating as well.
Yeah,
like,
and when you look at this is the part where we go outside and look outside, everybody else is falling, everybody else is stumbling. So if we can rectify ourselves and say, you know what, win the next 3 games. If we win the next 3 games and people outside are still falling, before you know it, you're looking,
I didn't realize because Turkish rang me and I didn't know. I didn't realize what had happened in the chat. But he said listening to Chelsea fans unhappy with a point against us is making me sicker than I was 60 minutes ago. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I take great pleasure at still being frustrated and disappointed that we didn't win this game. A lot of people take it the wrong way. I did my review and I'm already seeing comments like, "Oh, what's this reaction of all the Chelsea YouTubers are not happy with the..." Listen, I know we're progressing. I know we're 3rd. I know we're 3 points off 11th, but I know we're 3rd. But my point is that the day that we can really go again and be like, yo, is when we beat these guys. That's what we're about. I don't want people to forget about what we're about, because that's culture. That's the culture of the club. That's the mentality of the people that support this club. We want to win these games. I'm telling you now, I'm always going to be frustrated that we didn't beat Arsenal at home. We weren't even at the Emirates. I'm going to be frustrated if you're not ready for that, or if you want to, I don't know, you want to be really happy to take points off Arsenal, bro. I want to beat Arsenal, bro.
Yep.
Like this is real shit, bro. I want to beat Arsenal. I want to beat Man United. I want to beat these teams. When we beat these teams, that's when we're back. Do you know what I mean? That's when we can talk. Exactly. Until then, I'm always going to be looking for the faults and how can we improve and how can we do this, because we're winners, bro, around here. I don't think you man understand. We won the Champions League on this channel, you know. I think you man are confused in the chat. I don't know where you've come from, but you need to correct yourself immediately. You need to be better. Be better, bro. I want to win games. I want to win these battles, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
The goal is to be at the top. The goal is to be at the top. The goal is not to be, oh, we competed with City and they're just really good. How did we compete? That's not our goal. Like, we've been there. We know what that is. Like, that's why we're all saying, why is this keepering goal? Why is this happening?
In my review today, like, I think the first point I started off with was that was a competitive game and it wasn't one, and I'm upset that we didn't win. I think the moment you start going into these games that, you know what, we put up a good challenge, you're a top 4 side.
Yeah.
But I think all of us were looking for, not one of us said today, oh, that's a great point. You know what? Like, I'm super chuffed. Yeah, we're 3rd. This is great. All of us are looking at the reason we didn't win this game. And I think that's a healthy way of being as fan base.
Do you know what it is, though? We all know that it's a top 4 fight.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm not deluded. Oh, why are we not in a title fight? It's a disgrace. We need to win the league right now. Why are we not in the Champions League right now? You know, I know where we are. I know, but my mentality is still winning. So I'm still thinking about, let's win. But over the course of the season, I know we're going to be hopefully 4th. That's the prediction, right? Maybe it will be 3rd. Maybe it will be 5th. Champions League is what we need. That's the goal. But until we get back to the top, I'm always going to be thinking about, we need to win, or how can we win, or how can we get there as soon as possible? Because if there is a drop off from City, if they are going to be going through this for a few years, I'm really surprised it's going on for a few months. I'm still in shock. But I want us to be the one to be there to capitalize. I don't want it to be anybody else.
Oh, so you got the same mentality as me then?
I do have the same mentality as you. I just know it's not happening now, because we going to talk about Bob.
I want it now.
Sanchez.
No one spoke about Bob yet, man.
And Colwell.
I'll be real. Sanchez today. Look, let's be real, people. Sanchez today, I actually thought, cool. People can say, cool, near post, he should get that. I agree with that. But I have to be fair, right? The errors leading up to the goal, like Javon said, Lavia being sloppy on the ball, right? We're trying to play this offside trap thing so deep into our own half. I don't understand why we're doing that when you can see Odegaard, who's an artist on the ball and he knows how to create, just dinks it over the top to the back post, a place that we don't like defending, by the way, people. We don't like defending at the fucking back post. You're giving Martinelli all that time in the world to just slot it past Sanchez. Yes, Sanchez should do better, but overall, away from that, I thought he had a decent game.
Mate,
I didn't think he had a bad game today. Like, his distribution today was actually going to a blue shirt. Yeah, even the long
ball. You're not wrong.
There were so many instances where he almost got caught. I swear, my heart stopped beating.
I remember that one with Kavas. With Kavas.
Oh my God.
Was it him, or was it Colwell dwelling on the ball again? Because I remember there was a play where wasn't there a play where Colwell had
That's how
got the ball and Colwell kicked it right to.
Yeah,
That wasn't on Sanchez. I'm gonna be real.
It was on Sanchez.
You see 2 people coming.
Sanchez gives the ball. The problem is he takes too many touches, right? And what ends up happening is he gives the ball, and then that player has to be the person in a press. It's so annoying. Like, listen, I'm always repeating myself.
My biggest frustration there, what you were saying there, Don, about we got it wrong for the goal collectively. There were other things wrong than just Sanchez, as much as he had holes in his gloves at the near post.
Right.
The problem is we're basically saying we have to be perfect because we can't give one chance away. With a quarter. Oh, good. What, when he's pushing Kovacic's goals in, when Wolves are scoring down the middle of the goal? It's not been good.
I can flip that. That and say Forest. When we played Forest, he made a very big save.
He did.
Towards the end of the game.
Brother
Against
Dan,
Bournemouth.
Brother Dan,
Okay.
I
Hold
don't
on,
think
Jacob,
this is
Jacob.
a hill you need to die on, bro. Let it
But
go.
bro,
Bro,
can I just say-
I'm not.
no,
Hold on, bro. I want Sanchez.
When-
drop. I think Sanchez is a bozo.
Yeah.
I'm just being fair in isolation about today's game. Today's
I get
game,
that.
I didn't think Sanchez was a hazard like that. Really, yes, he should do better on the near post. 110%. I agree with that. But bro, I didn't think he had a bad game today. Away from that,
He didn't have a bad
It's
game.
relative, though,
He had
like
a
last
bad
week.
moment that unfortunately cost us.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
last week. Like last week.
And the goalkeeping position is the position I have no patience for. And I'm
100,
not afraid
100.
to say it. I have no patience for the
None.
goalkeeping position. The goalkeeping position wins and saves you points directly. There is nobody to help you. There is nobody to cover for you. There is nobody to bail you out. Chelsea should have a top goalkeeper. And
Right.
until they have one, I'm going to continue preaching that this guy needs to be moved on. And we need to not accept 9 out of 10 good actions, and then the one bad action that does literally lead to a goal and drop points is okay. No,
Thank
it's not
you, sir.
okay.
Let's look
I
at
grew
the
up on world-class keepers, and I'm not gonna grow old without them. I need a top keeper.
Facts.
I'm
Thank you, sir.
not gonna keep brushing aside this guy's like jitters in the back line. This is what he literally sends shivers down the spines of the fans watching, of the crowd, which play a role in terms of influencing the game from a perspective of just being there and being loud and pushing the team on. He makes them shit themselves. He makes the crowd shit themselves. And he makes the back line shit themselves as well.
That save.
Matisse
that
said
was
it
something that I
perfectly.
was expecting to
I
save.
am used to top class meals, good cookouts. My grandma's cooking. I'm not settling for McDonald's. And that's what he is. He's the McDonald's of goalkeepers. Sometimes it slaps. I'm hungover. But guess what? 9 out of 10 times it's not gonna.
Well, we're all looking for ingredients to get back to the top, and he's quite clearly one that you do not put in that meal, quite clearly. And if you look at those big games when we're saying those fine margins, how do we get over the line in those? You can look, we lose that City game anyway, but he pushes Kovacic's goal in. Liverpool, Curtis Jones's goal is on him. United, he gives away a needless penalty, and then today at the near
This is what
post.
I'm saying.
That's That's 4 of 6 goals conceded. You can go well a decent
Brighton,
top
good points.
4 of
Some
them.
good points,
The
bro.
Brighton, we won.
Yeah.
Everyone
Let alone
Clear
Sanchez versus Chelsea in the Brighton game. Like,
Yeah, he's legit.
you know what
He's
annoys
legit.
me?
As much as he saved us, this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't want this guy in our team. I don't want him at the club. I didn't even want the signing, right? I was so skeptical about the sign. I said, bro, this guy's third choice at Brighton.
25 great British sterling pounds.
But why do
piss.
Liverpool have a better second choice keeper than we have first choice?
they've got one on loan that's better.
Why do Man City have a
They've
better
got
bench
Jorgensen
keeper
a
in Ortega
chance,
than we
bro.
have as a starting keeper?
Yeah, but just fucking give Jorgensen a chance,
Wait,
man.
I agree with this.
Not doing any worse than this
Jorgensen
guy.
is considerably, in my opinion. You know what it is with Jorgensen? He's just so much more secure with his feet.
Yes, I keep saying
And
this.
it just will calm the back line down.
And his shot stop is not bad.
No, it's
His shot
not.
stop is not bad either.
And he's
I was
the
watching-
thing is, not bad is a terrible, terrible sentence to have to say. It has to
it's not-
be great. It can't be
Matisse,
not bad. If
Matisse,
he's not bad at shot stopping, then he's also not good enough.
No.
kind of-
I was seeing this guy saving. What team do we get him from again? Villarreal, yeah? We're going from Villarreal, right? They conceded over 60 goals, right? I watched these games back, and the amount of shots I'm seeing this guy saving, fighting for his life. If you watched Villarreal last season, you know, yeah, they were like us. They had no midfield, right? And this guy's just saving them and saving them and saving them. And I'm like, yo,
So
if
it's
you
good.
go
So
to
he's
shot-
got good shot
shots
stopping.
and-
then.
Yes,
Yeah,
bro.
Matisse, he's good shots. He's just small. Like he's just
Oh,
he's
not
not
a big
small, he's not
keeper.
small.
Yeah,
He's 6'4",
bro.
bro.
Why
He's
didn't I do this
6'4".
already? How tall
He
is this
plays
brother,
small.
man?
He plays
Jorgensen's
small.
not small. Jorgensen's 6'4".
Yeah,
The same height as
I'm
Sanchez.
gonna be honest.
Look at him come for
This-
crosses. Look at him come for crosses. That's the problem. He plays small.
Bro, I'm
I don't think
tired
it's
of
smooth.
I'm tired of scrambling for goalkeepers. Just get me a goalkeeper, bro.
Yeah.
Let's stop saying, oh, the second string can do it. I've seen him, bro. Just get me a goalkeeper, bro. It's not that hard. It's the one
I think
position we
what's-
can.
Yeah, but how you gonna write him off if he's not?
I'm
even
not writing him
Yeah,
off, by the way.
that's
I'm not
the
writing him off.
problem.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, but people
don't
keep
know.
skipping past him.
My-
People
my
keep skipping past him and saying,
My
bring me a
point
keeper.
keeps
We already
going
fucking
over
bought a keeper.
everybody's head, bro.
So
If you're good enough, you come in and start. Stop the
that's
bullshit, bro.
what I'm saying, bro.
Stop it,
Why
bro.
is it? Why is
No,
it
bro,
even a
stop.
no? Why is it
There's
even a
certain
discussion?
positions you cannot develop. You cannot
That's-
run risk
bro.
with it when you're certain.
I just don't know how he could be worse. That's more what I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't know
Agreed.
how he
Okay,
could be worse.
so two things to bring up, right? Either he's better and Maresca's playing politics, or, and I still don't even understand that because he literally just signed under the same regime, under the same directors, with the same scouting. So I don't even understand how there's politics. It's just always briefed Sanchez is the best keeper. So either it's true or it's false. Either he's the better keeper and it's politics, or he's not the better, or he's not the better keeper and he's not good enough. And then that's a whole nother problem. Do you know what I mean?
That's another
Matisse,
20
I
million.
don't know.
just
I
on
don't
the
know. I honestly, I'm getting to the point now where it feels like Sanchez literally has to grab the ball, right? Look at all of us and just throw it into our own net to get dropped.
He does that anyway, bro.
Tobes has just said, Tobes has literally got a rap sheet. Yeah, this is a recall you've got on Sanchez right now. Yeah, of all the fucking charges that he's got this season already, right? All the charges he's got, he's read them out. But in Maresca's head, it's this guy that he wants to play, right? It's this guy, bro. And that's where I have to look and say, yo, it must be the some of the saves that he's made this season. He's had some blunders which Maresca seems to be ignoring. Which to me, like, it don't make sense. I keep looking at it like Maresca. If you watch Leicester last season, I forgot their keeper's name. I think it's Veltman. Is it Veltman? Yeah, right. He was very that guy. He was very good on the ball, and that was key for Maresca because there was times where he would even become like an extra centre back for him. Yeah, with Sanchez, we can't do that. We can't do that. I keep telling people Valles and Jorgensen were wanted by De Zerbi because De Zerbi likes ball playing keepers, right? He got rid of Sanchez and made Sanchez his third choice because he can't do what he wants him to do. But Maresca, ironically, wants a guy that can't really do what he wants him to do, but he has a guy on the bench who's better on the ball. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. That's why I'm kind of thinking it's bigger than that.
Then
there must be
it's
something
not
else.
as clear as you think. Maybe the gap in quality between Jurgensen and Sanchez is not as clear as you think, which goes back to my point. Just get me somebody that's a number one that walks into this team. It's a goalkeeping position. You make a mistake, it's a goal. You don't make a mistake, it's not a goal. It's as simple as that.
Whilst I agree with your statement, go and get me someone. Why the hell did you throw another 25 million in the bin then? How did you sanction a signing of a goalkeeper to come in and be a backup for 25 million? What is this?
Whilst having 3 or 4 young keepers out on
questions.
loan that are
That's
already
what this is.
backup material potentially right now, because goalkeepers peak in their 30s. So on average, it's very rare that you'll see a young keeper, play for a top club because they usually peak later on in their career, right? But why sign a backup keeper if you've already got young, promising backup keepers? Because they're not going to come in and start. So I don't know. Unless Penders is the next Courtois, which is what we've been told. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I'm just praying.
But even Courtois had 3 first team seasons of football before he came and played for Chelsea. He had 1 year at Genk, then he had 2 years at Atletico Madrid where he played consistently in front of a great defense. You know, where like low block, they absolutely protected him.
It knocked us out, yeah.
And
that was when the
he
penny
looked
dropped.
great.
Costa,
and then
really.
he came,
Costa was there. Yeah, fuck.
And then he came and Mourinho made a decision. He was like, look, Czech, I love you, but this is the future of Chelsea goalkeeper. And to be fair, we won 2 league titles with him in goal. Like, we had a top-class goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So, like, the pressure on Penders is massive already, and it shouldn't be that big.
He needs to be better than Estevao. He needs to be a bigger talent than Estevao, genuinely.
But see what you guys are
doing.
doing.
Thing I can see, Tobes,
you guys are falling back into the same trap. Why are we looking at potential and talent for a goalkeeping position, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Javon, this is what I'm saying. Like, the only way for me, how I'm looking at it right now, is for Jorgensen to have an amazing performance in a cup game where he can't get dropped for the following game, where everyone's calling for him to start.
Bro, Don, I said it a couple weeks ago on this. I'm not going to repeat it. The only way this guy leaves our team, I'm not repeating it. We all know what needs to happen, right? Something needs to happen to him when he's unavailable for the fixture, man. I said it.
Like last season. That's what happened. That's actually what happened.
It's the only way.
It's kind of weird, though.
Someone said in the chat, it said, obviously these guys won't play for Chelsea. It's common sense. It's only common sense that they don't play for Chelsea if Chelsea have the goalkeeping position already on lock. Then you can piss around with your 3-4 young players that you just bring in on goalkeeper and sell for profit, and bring in that you can't. I don't like that situation when the goalkeeping position is not taken care of and it's dropping and it's costing us points. What am I? You want me to clap for the goalkeepers that we scouted that are not good enough because we're gonna make profit, but we're not sorting the goalkeeping situation out in the first team for the first 11. So what am I clapping about? So that point is null and void until we find a solution. That point is NA, literally NA.
Literally,
Petrovic
it's like
he was sus towards the end though. He was sus. Bro.
Yeah, Petrovic gave me less nerves because he wouldn't take his time on the ball as Sanchez, but he wasn't a good keeper. He wasn't a good keeper. He was a backup keeper anyway.
He can't play for Maresca because he can't play out from the back.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a backup keeper anyway.
Yeah, well, let me blast through the rest of these super chats. Time to bench your boy Nonny Don. He's not good.
Bro, listen, I've said it already. He's a squad player at best for me, bro. He's not guaranteed to start. I keep telling people this.
Estevao's licking his lips, surely, I think.
Oh, come on now.
Like, mate, watching this kid, you're like, he must be kind of looking at, I don't know, Nonny having some of those games, or no one really tying it down and being like, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
That's quality end product. Quality end product right there.
And I also think, the players are triggered with the idea that Estevao's coming. You saw Nonny react to a TikTok the other day where it was the guy made, and he's actively calling it out. This kid, he's special, man. And I don't even think we're putting too much pressure on him. He's smashing stats that Neymar was putting up in that league where
Listen.
In a title charge.
You guys are a part of the problem.
I'm purposefully, go on. You're gonna do. Go on.
You guys and everybody that's been doing this to Estevao are part of the problem. And let me say this before I say this. I hope he comes in and I hope he lives up to his potential. But you see, you lot, you are the same one that's gonna turn on him when he doesn't show up the first couple of weeks. Stop this over exaggerating on him. He's a 17-year-old kid coming to a new country.
How's the exaggeration?
What did we say that's exaggerating? I said facts.
What he's doing is unprecedented. And he's already been called to Brazil. He's obviously a talented kid. We're just excited to watch him. Like,
he's older than Yamal. He's literally older than Yamal. We're seeing Yamal play for Barcelona.
You know what?
He had got more goals and assists than Neymar did at that age in a league where Neymar was 10th. And he's in a team that's competing for a league.
How did Neymar start when he went to Barcelona, which is quote unquote a less physical league than the Premier League? Neymar still
the Brazilian league is physical.
Let me finish. Neymar still struggled to start before he got up to speed. Estevao is a young kid coming to a new country, learning a new language. All I am saying is,
hold on.
Neymar wasn't struggling.
Let me finish.
No, hold on. But you're saying, but he's making it sound.
I don't even want to compare Neymar to Barcelona because Neymar was 21. Neymar was 21 when he arrived at Barcelona, and Estevao is going to be just turned 18, right, or something like that. So, big 3 years in that age group is a long time.
Let me finish.
I also think not one of us. No, hold on, Javon. Because I think you're getting our point wrong. I think I can speak for Tobes and Don when I say none of us think he's coming in and he's going to be the face of the team. I think Palmer's ahead of him, Jackson's ahead of him, Neto will be ahead of him. Yeah. And the pressure will be on those guys to carry. And he's going to have to just come in, play a few games, get out. Come in, play a few games, get out. I don't think, put it this way, what Nonny's doing now, if Estevao was doing that, everyone would be over the moon. Because Nonny's been crap. So I'd rather give them minutes to what's it called, Estevao. I'm getting no consistency from a 23, 24-year-old or whatever Nonny is at the moment.
Can I just finish? Can I just finish my point? My point was, as a 17-year-old kid, we need to give him the leeway to grow and develop in a Chelsea shirt. That's my point. So what he's doing in Brazil is unprecedented. But let this guy come in, integrated into the Chelsea first team first, because apparently we're not going to loan him out, and let's see how his performance is because I've seen this fan base. If it doesn't go their way, or they don't get what they want, what they expect from him, their own expectations from him, they will tear him down. And I don't want that for the kid. That's all I'm saying. So when everyone is
going to have to learn to deal with that.
You're saying that to the wrong people. All we're saying right now is that he's quality, right? For me, he's a generational talent as well. Yeah. And he's literally beaten Neymar's record in the league at that time, right? And you talk about physicality as well, bro. Go watch his recent game. This guy was getting battered all over the place. Yeah, Brazil was a very physical league. Do you get it? And he's getting called up. He's getting called up for Brazil men's team, right?
Yeah.
No one's saying come in and straight away he's gonna be a starter. But if he comes in and he's affecting games, he's getting goals, he's getting assists, he could push himself in there, bro. I don't care about the age. I don't give a fuck about age.
I just don't want that pressure on him. I don't.
I know he's young,
There's
but
gonna be pressure on him, bro. He's playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, I was going to say the stats that he's getting this season, the fact he's getting called up to Brazil with the fee that he's paid, he already will have all that pressure, and that pressure is going to develop. Look, Vinny he's playing against us pressure for years, and look what he turned into. Like, you're gonna have to deal with that. That's just part of it.
But they gave him time. Are we going to give him time?
I don't see why wouldn't we give him time? Why wouldn't we give him time
though?
All right, we'll see. We'll talk again.
I'd say the only ones that people have borne frustration the last couple of years out of these new signings, out of the young ones, and it's actually been the older ones. It's been the Sterlings that everyone's gone, Ben, this guy, like, he's not going to improve. The young ones have been. I'm trying to think who's been incredibly impatient out of the young ones we've signed.
Bro, Enzo Fernandez got 2.5 years, and only now people have now said, you know what? It's been 2.5 years, and people are furious with him. I genuinely think we overprotect sometimes these players coming in.
My only thing with him, because obviously he's a very talented kid, is the expectations will change next season. Next season, in my head, we're meant to be challenging for the title. If he comes in and he's not ready to be in a team that's challenging for the title, which I would expect because he's really, really young and he's, like you just said, just moved over from Brazil. It's his first season in the Premier League. All of these factors. Yamal, I'm not even doing direct comparisons. You've been in La Masia. Yeah. You're not moving home. You're very comfortable in Barcelona. You just step up to the first team. We've seen loads of La Masia kids step through that academy, go straight to the first team and play the same football because it's transferable. We don't play the same way as Palmeiras. You have not come through our academy. You're coming from Brazil. There's a lot of factors that are completely different for why I will have so many allowances for him as a talent to take his time. What I don't have time for is people telling me we can't challenge next season or we can't win certain trophies next season because we have this talent, we have that. No, because you're not going to keep just doing this every single year. More talent or more talent or more talent or more talent. Bring in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 young talents. Sell 7, 8, 9 players and then keep saying, oh, we've changed the squad too much, or there's too many young players. We can't do this. We can't do that. That is when you start to just plateau into what Arsenal have become right now, which is their season today in the title race potentially ended and their peak at the moment is nothing. They have nothing to show for it. And whilst we relinquished power of London for 3-4 years and we said, right, you crack on then, you take over, they have done absolutely nothing with the time they have been given. I do not want us to get power back and do nothing with the time given. Exactly. When we get back in that top seat, and I mean comfortably, not on goal difference, I want us to take advantage of that and win again. Because it'll be brilliant. It'll be brilliant. It'll be brilliant.
But at the same time, I'll be real, bro. This guy, this Estevao, bro, like he's different gravy. I'll be honest with you, innit? And with what do you call it? Bayern Munich as well. Fabrizio came out the other day saying that they tried to hijack him before they went in for Elise, bro. Right? And I don't see him going to Bayern Munich and playing for the academy and that, bro. He would have been in the first team, right? Again, the main thing for me is obviously like Javon said, like what Wall said, he's got to be bedded in nicely. He's gonna get older. He's gonna get more physical, you know, as he gets older, bro. He's gonna get taller. He's gonna get more muscly and that. That's the main thing for me, innit? But when I watch this guy against grown men doing what he's doing, bro, the numbers he's putting up, he's quality, bro. He's quality. Yes, I've got no doubts he's going to do well at Chelsea. No doubts about it.
My thing is not about doubts. But see, Matisse brings up a beautiful point. The level that Chelsea is supposed to be competing at when he walks in. Don't forget we will have Champions League football. And we don't. When we play Champions League football, I don't know about anybody here, but I expect to at least reach quarterfinal, semi-final stage. Or go ahead and win it. So you're telling me this fan base, as we know it, are going to give him the leeway to get through that transitional and embedded season when we're expected to compete in Champions League, expected to compete in the league, and there's not going to be too much pressure on this kid.
Yeah, there'll be pressure, but realistically, we will be better in a year's time. Like
exactly,
improvements we're seeing, we should be getting to a level. Like
we should be, but next season, I have to say, will be more difficult than this season because Conference League,
Champions League,
you've basically got friendlies in the middle of your matches, right? That's what they are. They're friendlies. Next season, when you're playing twice a week against proper opposition, that is difficult. So that, I get what you're saying.
That's
there.
when it will
But I
have to
also-
trust your Felixes, etc. Like that trust does need
Yeah.
to grow throughout the season because next year that's when it comes and it matters more.
And I also think we need to trim the squad because I don't think you can have 24 outfield players because you're not going to be able to give them the minutes and they're going to be rusty and they're going to be disgruntled. By the way, breaking news: Man United inquired for Nkunku.
What
Is it officially?
Who said that, though? Who said that?
Oh, L'Equipped.
Yeah, that's a reliable source. Like in France, that's Fabrice Hawkins, and he's very, very reliable when it comes to news, especially on French players, and it's believable.
How do we feel? Instant reaction, I guess.
It's
Bro,
expected.
I think right now it's an easy story to sell, really, innit? I'm not saying there's no truth in it, but it's very easy to sell it because you're seeing Nkunku's getting minimal minutes. We've been talking about it on YouTube. These lot listen, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna feed things out there. At the end of the day, it's a long season, innit? It's a long season to go. I think he's gonna get more minutes, more opportunities, but Maresca needs to start doing it soon. That's where it is, innit? Do you know what I mean? But if it carries on like this, come the end of the season, it could be more realistic. But for now, I just think it's an easy story to sell. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's not
Put it this way,
a
Don.
January sale, is it?
I think
He's away.
I think no matter what happens from now till the end of the season, Christopher Nkunku will not be a Chelsea player come the first game of the season next year. I think
I could see
his
that.
wages, he'll be gone. Like he's the one that will go. And I think they'll get a younger striker to back up Jackson. They'll go find the next Duran that they wanted,
Liam Delap. It's Liam Delap, lads. I'm telling you, it's ex-City. It's Liam
I'll
Delap.
put him on my list.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Let me go through these super chats here. So for me, Cucurella was insane, the best left back this season. I said on previews, I said in combined 11s, I said Cucurella. I've been saying for weeks, Cucurella has been one of the best left backs, if not the best left back in the Premier League this season. And because he's not been getting game time recently, because we've been experimenting or whatever, people have been thinking, "Oh, you're doing far too much." Cucurella has been fantastic.
Would you not say it's money being well? Like he's reached the point now where
not yet. I said
getting closer to money well spent.
You know why I'm going to say not yet. You know why I'm going to say not yet? Because
he needs to win something.
If he is part of a team that wins not a Carabao Cup, a major trophy like a league or a Champions League, that's 60 million left back money. That's 60 million left back money, 55 add-ons, whatever it is. When you're part of a team and you've reached a pinnacle and you're still here and we haven't had to change you, we haven't had to improve on you, then I can say money well spent. But until then, he's just performing to a level that we all knew he was kind of capable of when he came in. City wanted him, and it's just good to see. But I don't want to overdo it because
what it is right now, we haven't been bumped. We haven't been bumped. I'll be real. We haven't been bumped. We're getting our money's worth right now. I'll be real, man.
I need him doing his stupid song, pissed out his head on one of the bus parades when we next win the league. That's what I need.
He was brilliant today. He was brilliant.
He was brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh mate, Saka was limping out of his pockets.
That narrative needs to end, man. It's so boring. Oh, every time Saka sees Cucurella, he cooks him. It's so boring, bro.
By the way, Fofana was amazing as well.
Yeah.
How can we forget about Fofana?
He could have been crap, and just the fact he gave it to Havertz towards the end when he was off the pitch, that would have been enough for me. That would have been enough.
He was brilliant. He was today, yeah. He stood up. He saw Cole was a bit shaky in parts, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna fucking stand up." And he was just the way he was breaking lines from the back, running on the ball.
Yeah, you remember that run he made, like in the second half? I'm like, oh shit!
Bro. even the chance, like Fofana is a threat in the box. Like we haven't seen him score yet, but I remember that goal he scored against Leeds. Yeah, I think it was in Bournemouth as well. He scored.
Header against Leeds. Wasn't it?
He's one of the players that can be a threat in the box for us. And today I was happy, man, because I listen. I sold my stocks in it. I like Fofana, right? And I think he's to get back to his best. People need to remember, bro. The guy was out for a year, massive injury, and the fact that he hasn't even lost his pace after injuring his knees, that's crazy in itself. You know what I mean? He's still got to build more confidence, bro. He's getting better.
I also hear a lot of we need to sign a new centre half. For me, it's until the summer. I want both of these two playing every Premier League game, and we restock in the summer where we go. Are these two like linchpins going forward, or do we actually need to sign? For now, do not buy no one in January.
I think it's just because of the Fofana injury worry that like who comes in. That's what people are more worried about. Like, yeah, I know people have worries with Fofana, but it's the backup ones that if Fofana was injured, I would panic a bit.
As was said earlier, like we have a very big squad, so we can't really be signing anyone until people are sold. And until I see money on the table for Disasi, then he's still here. So you still have to plan with him. Unfortunately, that's as much as we could say we've built. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, we've built our team for this season." You built your team, period. Until players are sold, that because we just think they're just gonna go, but they got to find homes for good prices because you're entering. You've already sold Matson, Lewis Hall, players that didn't cost anything, so the market value is a bit fishy. It was clean profit. Gallagher, Mount. When you are selling players you've already signed, there was a price point that you paid. So the market has to come and pay that price at least to balance out the books or book value, and we'll get in, But that's not an easier. That's a harder sale, especially if they're on the bench playing Conference League games against Noah's Ark. So the selling so far has been really good because we've made loads of money in terms of the players we sold, and we got some nice fees. Havertz, great, but the sales that are coming up next, Havertz had the Champions League in his bag by Leverkusen. The sales that are coming up next are harder sales because they're either not playing or you've already paid for them and you now can't. It's embarrassing to get 10 million for 15 million for Disasi when you paid 30. So that's what I'm trying to zone in on. We can't just keep buying players constantly and saying, oh, well, we'll just get rid of them because no, we actually need to meticulously make sure that what we're getting, we actually use. And that's
don't worry, Anselmino's next up. Anselmino's next up. You know about him. Anselmino's next up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Javon's going to get triggered again.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky about Wisecout. I can watch these guys, bro, so I can see what they're like.
The chance Augusto missed, Reece finishes that 100%. Young Metro, I agree with you. Stop qualifying all these games as if a draw is okay. Once you lose to Pool City, draw versus Arsenal, United, Forest, Palace, you must versus Villa. When do we play Villa? Oh, we play Villa very soon.
Yeah,
after Leicester.
After Leicester, we play them at home, don't we?
At home again, yeah.
Yeah. And, I think Everton's away.
Yeah.
We lost there that season. I remember that's the game when Reece got injured. Yeah. We played that. That turquoise kit. I think Decore scored that game, if I remember right.
And Dobbin. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, fucking Dobbin.
Dobbin bagging. It's like, I remember watching that. I was like, fucking hell.
Decision making.
We've gone past the hard bit, people. We've gone past the hard bit, man.
For me, everything is difficult. Every game.
Of course.
Last season, everything was difficult. I tell you that.
No. This season, everything's still difficult, bro.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not. You see me, yeah. Every Premier League game for me is a final at the moment.
Facts.
Like they're Bournemouth 1-0 last minute in Cuckoo. Like who are we? What's going on here? Every Premier League game is rough, bro. Ipswich just beat Tottenham at their ground.
Leicester away.
I've seen Arsenal. I've seen Arsenal ship goals to Southampton and Leicester. I've seen City last minute nick against Wolves. I'm not taking no games as bankers or easy until it actually gets done. Until we actually go and blam teams out of their boots. But right now, bro, I'm very like every game is big for me, bro. I'm not taking nothing for granted out here. But yeah, decision making today in the final third was poor, man. Like I said, that needs to improve. Palmer's decision making when he could have played Jackson and he decided to play Neto, that was like, bro, that hurt, man. That really hurt me. I'll be honest. I took that personally.
Yeah, that was like that, bro. It's
that was
Jackson
so
and
big,
God, bro.
It's so big,
bro. It's Jackson and Jesus himself, bro. No,
that's crashing on you, Javon. You got Mel.
He's crashing it. Yeah, he's saying, yo, he's gonna take Noni's place.
That's why he's getting a bit jittery, ain't he? You know what I mean? I think you got this guy's what do you call it? Harvey Specter.
Bro, I don't care who comes in as long as we're winning games. I'm just saying, if
Lewis Lit, man.
Bro, if this guy is genuinely a generational talent, we should, develop that. We should develop that and hone it and protect it. Don't throw it to the wolves.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I said it in the summer. When we was in for Elise, I was getting gassed because Elise was a game changer on that right wing, bro. Elise over there, bro. Love and respect to Noni, bro, but my goodness, I would have been eating. If we was over there.
We'd be even more annoyed at Bob every week. We'd be even more because you'd be sitting there going, "We should be winning this league. We should have won every game." That's how it
Oh.
would feel. It'd be horrible.
Bro's name and play, bruh. How much is that gonna cost, bro? I want to ask you, how much is that going to cost?
10-year deals, and it's about $5 a year.
That's like 300 million.
I like KK. He has. I don't think he's been great this season. I watched their game last week. They played them. They got smoked. Yeah. KK.
Kavas been good this year.
You're from the same country, innit?
Brother alone.
Oh, you're from the same country. That's what it is. That's the bias. Yeah, one of my guys from Northwest, he thought fucking Sterling was gonna turn up because he's from Northwest as well. Little did he know he's time to go Saudi, bro. You know what I mean? Don't work like
that. Matthias is asking, have we beaten a top 8 team this season?
Brighton,
Newcastle,
I think. Brighton,
Newcastle. Yeah. So don't fear, brother. 100%. If that was the case, that we hadn't, then Lord Heavens would be in, because we haven't played the relegation teams. We haven't played a lot of the bottom teams. So that stat could never run.
I think Brighton beat everyone else in the top 8. Haven't they? Beat City. Drew Arsenal, beat Spurs.
Yep.
Am I missing something with this super chat?
We have Popeyes before Chick-fil-A in UK.
Yeah, we do.
Is this relevant to the conversation? Are you in the wrong line?
You can get yourself some wings from Popeyes with that money, man. Might as well. Fuck it.
I don't really know what to say. Thank you for the super chat.
What the hell is that picture? Where are you?
This ain't a food review channel, brother.
He's reading a comic book, I think.
Hands on some or something.
He's
jerk haggis.
Yeah, he's all over the place. He's all over the shop. Okay.
He's had one too many rare nephews, most probably.
Yeah. he just
random cousin, them brother.
I'm still confused as to where he was just then.
He's just on the wrong channel. He's just on the wrong channel. Guys, smash up the likes. Let's get to 500. There's 1.3k of you in the building. We should be on at least 500 likes. I don't usually ask, but I also feel like now y'all taking the piss. You know what I mean? Let's up the likes now. Guys, we're going to wrap up because there has been just a lot of chat, and I know Don's got another show to go to, but we've got a long international break to sit in third and enjoy being in a good position because it's been a while. Do you know what I mean? Last season, we were in 10th for most of the campaign, for like 80% of the campaign. Then we just salvaged 6th. Season before that, I don't even want to get into it. So it's good to be in a respectful Chelsea position. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anybody is entitled in terms of we must, win every single year, but just at least be up there. At least be up there. Could have a couple more points, but thankful for what we've got right now. I'm not gonna lie, very reflective on the last couple years.
It's the second international break. We're in the top 4.
Third. Yeah, third.
If we're in the same place, if we're in the same place in the next one, that's in like March. So I think that would be great if we can just.
I know that. Listen, I know we're close in that year to like the other teams and that, but
yes,
the table is starting to take shape. It is starting to take shape. Let's be real, people.
Let me put the table up. Let me put the table up just before we go.
The next 3 games are going to be so pivotal.
So pivotal, bro.
If we get 9, like you guys said,
Christmas period as well.
Oh, that is going to be beautiful.
That's a lot of rotating as well.
Because that's when the gaps can. That's when the gap's going to appear.
That's the table. So going into the final international break before a very long stretch until the next one. Liverpool top 28 points. Manchester City second 23 points. Chelsea third 19 points. From 3rd to 6th, everybody's on the same points. We're here on goal difference, which is good because goal difference.
Get in there, Madueke Hatchik done something.
So yeah, Arsenal, Forest, Brighton, Chelsea, all on the same points. We're 3rd. Fulham in 7th, 18 points. Newcastle 8th, 18 points. Aston Villa 9th, 18 points. Tottenham 10th, 16 points. Brentford 11th, 16 points. We're 4 points above United. We're 3 points above Brentford. It is very close. From Man United up to Chelsea, from 13th to 3rd, 10 positions separated by 4 points.
That's mad.
And that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. It is mad. Do you know what I mean? We're on the right end of it. But, brother, it's fine margins like Bob in goal that can make you on the wrong end of it. Chelsea could be 10th. And be playing exactly the same way, by the way, and be 10th. And that's why I say, as much as we have improved, let's make sure now in the next run of games that we actually seriously put a gap between us and the next couple of teams, because this Premier League is way too tight. It can't be like this on match day 37. I don't want to see no 3rd to 7th on the last day of the season someone does a mistake and the whole season is unraveled. No. We're not
I
doing
also
that.
feel we've played a lot of tough games.
Yes.
So like
yes.
now, let's get into it and secure the points. This is where we get that good consistency and pick up like 21 or 24 21, 22 points from 30.
We need to dust these United boys. I'm seeing them. I was seeing Saeed, big him up, getting giddy. These lot are doing streams now. They scored 3 goals today. They're free from the shackles of Ten Hag. Amrim's coming in, not far from us. You know what I mean? I'm trying to not even look at them this season, people. We need to start winning these games convincingly now. Yeah, we're the better team for most of the game. You know what I'm saying?
So they got a new manager coming in, and he's good. He's very good.
Yeah,
so,
but they've got a new system to learn now. They're going to a back three.
Do you want me to say? Do you want me to be honest? Man United is still in the top 4 race. They have to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're 4 points off with a new manager. They're still in the top 4 race. So
100%.
We almost made the top 4 last year, and all we had to do was like win. Or we almost made 5th last year, which would have basically, I think, got us Champions League or something like that. And all we did was win like 7 from the last 9. So it's never as bad as it looks on the table.
I also think their squad's quite suited for a back three. If I'm honest, like it makes sense for what they have. I don't see how they could be worse. They can't be worse. Put it that way. They will get better.
All right, man. Bless up. I'm not going to be on a stream gassing Manchester United.
Yeah, we're rapping. Guys, go subscribe to Tobes. Link in the description. Do you know what I'm saying? Go subscribe to Alexis. Link is in the description as well. These guys are putting out daily content on the Chelsea. Javon, link is in the description. Hit 1K. Congratulations again to my brother. That's a big milestone. It is a big milestone. Trust me. There's a lot of channels on this platform that are not at 1K. Most channels on this platform don't get to 1K, bro. Everybody be trying to get to that point. That's where you have your foundation. So well done to you. And Don, brother, of course, I'm going to enjoy listening to you on the other show. I don't know if you can cook. I wish you could have cooked. That's my thing. I'm pissed off, man. You would have come in here. Bro, do you know, I'm going to tell the audience one thing, yeah? In the group chat that we have, I don't think you guys understand. We are right there ready to come with suits and to cook after one of these Big 6 games, but we didn't win any of them, bro. Yeah, that's what annoys me, bro. If we had won just one of them,
that first one is going to hit, though. That
first one would have been like Men in Black. It would have been like Men in Black.
We have a whole we have a whole big plan. Trust me. You think Best of Enemies has banter? Oh, you wait until we get our first count.
Oh man, we've been waiting. We're gonna have to wait a bit longer. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash up the likes. Make sure you subscribe to everybody. And we'll see you guys after the next game. Yeah, big up your damn selves and a bit, people.
Peace.
Peace.